our placement over the next 10 weeks or so. It's well done. First of all, like Web 2.0, I think a lot of people these days see it as just the general internet. I personally see Twitter, Facebook, they're what common websites people tend to use these days, and that'll be everyone sees that as the internet. They're interactive, they're collaborative, okay, and you're sharing websites all the time. And that's the way the internet's going to go. And I think it's important we start to use those more and more in education. What I want to do tonight really is share my main websites I like to use that I think are really useful in education. There's been loads already shared tonight, and hopefully we'll continue that and add a few more to it. The first one I'd like to share is Educreations. Now, a lot of people might have heard this on the iPad. It's an interactive whiteboard that you can use on the iPad, similar to Explain Everything and Sketch and Show Me. And they're very, very student friendly. Now, people always ask me this question, what one do you prefer? And I've blogged about it in the past, and actually I've said that for myself, I prefer Explain Everything. A lot more features on it. However, Educreations I feel is a lot more student friendly, a lot simpler design for them to be able to access. So, ideally, but the main feature I like about Educreations is you access it on the internet as well, and you can access your lessons you've recorded on your iPad. You can also create lessons online, and I should organise a bit different way really. But in a minute you'll hear about my Google Mail tricks, and you can actually have students sign up to Educreations, record lessons as you would on the iPad, all online, and it's a great tool to use in a lesson. Students to evaluate at the end of the theory lesson, create videos to teach other students, that whole collaborative learning really. And again, it records the sound and video as it would on the iPad, as many of you might have come across already. So that's mainly that bit. My next one is BuildUp, and this is a website that I've come across through Mr. Robert actually. And basically you can build a website, so build an app on this website for free. If you want to share it onto the App Store, you have to pay. But the great thing is to have a web app. This web app you can share among a range of devices, not just the iPhone, iPad, but also Android, etc., etc. BlackBerry is an important one to feel, because a lot of students I tend to find have BlackBerry for some reason. And the way you do it is you either share it through a QR code, or you could share it through just an internet browser or a link on your website, on your school website, and it opens up in the device's usual browser. So for example, for an iPhone it will be Safari. I personally have created a DAV app through this. You can see that in the bottom right hand corner, and that's what the main interface looks like. You've got the main screen there as it shows up. You can't see the menu options that you would in Safari at the top. It works very much like an app. And in the bottom left hand corner of that picture you'll see that actually the logo of what it looks like on the phone. So it looks like and works just like an app, and students don't tend to know the difference, and it's very, very simple and easy to edit. Thanks Alex, yeah, Alec. Fantastic stuff. I'll use it for Duke of Ed. I'll share a link to that so you can get an idea of how it's worked. It's very, very easy to edit. So that's sort of one of my key tools, and I think once I finish my placement, PGCE, that'll be one of the first things I'll do in a GCSE class, is to create an app that will share my lessons and share the content of the courses that I'm running at the time. It would be very important. Next, Socrative. That's all been covered by Ben Leonard, I believe. And so no, actually Ben Leonard has started Google Docs for sharing loads of codes for this Socrative. So I advise you to get hold of him, have a word about getting access to that Google Doc, or if he's happy for me to, I'm happy to share that. And there's no point, I've seen so many schools spend loads of money on and it's expensive hardware to have this student response system, when you can access it for free on their own phones or just on the internet. And it's a great tool, as I saw earlier, add the exit to lessons, questioning students, get everyone engaged in the learning. and everyone's talking about earlier the space race, which I think is a really key tool. Next one is Dropbox and Google Drive. Again, people spoke about Google Docs, Google Drive earlier. Basically, they're both cloud sharing services. Dropbox has numerous folders, not just the PE Bible, the PAE Geeks folders. There's also GCSE folder, A-level folder from David Fawcett, as well as literacy and numeracy, the Socrative. Everything's starting to be shared in on these two platforms. And for me as a trainee, and I'm sure for you as a teacher, trained teachers, they'll all be there and great resources for you to use. Again, we're not going to reinvent the wheel every time. We want to use those. One thing I've come across quite well, what I found quite useful, is this thing called G-Class. It's not easy to find, so I'll share a link again later. But the G-Class allows you to share folders with students, and that automatically links in, as explained earlier. You can share files, edit it live, and all that is in that one folder is shared with that specific student. And rather than having to share individual folders with students, you can input their email address into a spreadsheet and it automatically does it for you. Again, I'll show you that later. That's a great tool I'd like to use in the future. Next one, back from a Gmail trick that I was talking about earlier. This has been really helpful, especially with some schools not too sure about students accessing third-party websites like Educreations. You can use your own email address to allow them to sign up. So, for example, my email address is mrwickenspE@gmail.com. By putting the plus sign and the student name after, Google, for some reason, just ignores that between the plus and the @ but the website, see, it's a different email address, and you can add multiple multiple accounts to this email address. Like websites like Twitter do not allow you to do that. For example, for my Twitter account, I've got 2 Twitter accounts that I use. I put a dot between the Mr. and the Wickens, and they never noticed. But all emails go to the same account. So that's a great tool to use and allow students to share. Edmodo has been spoken about. Everyone seems to be getting on this, and I see it as education Facebook. It's a lot safer though, secure form of social media, and you're able to set homework, handle assignments, set polls, have discussions on it, just like you would on Facebook. And I feel that in education we tend to cut out social media, whereas actually if it engages students, certainly get involved in it, and if it engages them into their learning, then what better tool can you have? That's basically the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a fantastic night tonight. I'll blog about this presentation on my website, mrwickenspe.wordpress.com, and I'll be happy to tweet about it all the time. And thank you very much.